Ladies and gentlemen, in the house, well, maybe the biggest comic in the world in
Power
some ways.
hitter.
But you're not known in the U.S., even though you sell out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Dirty.
We don't know him. We don't know him in the U.S. Yeah, Madison Schmadison.
Yeah, Barkley Schmarkleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think I drove by and I was like, I think the Nokia Center had Russell Peters. I was like, Russell's selling out the Nokia Center.
Yeah, there's 8,000 seats, but
Well,
nobody knows me.
Nobody knows you're here.
You know what they try to do? They try to negate it to, it's just. And I'm like, why don't you just come see who it just is? The fucking audience looks like this room.
What's what's the biggest audience you played for?
18,000.
18,000
2 nights
people.
in a row.
I can't imagine
Sold out
that.
2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
That's
You
in Canada?
sold-
That was in Canada.
Yeah. Toronto?
That was Vancouver.
Oh, wow. I love Vancouver.
Toronto, I did the Air Canada Center 6 times. I sold
And
it.
I saw it's the
Wow.
fastest that they've ever sold out.
I don't know about that.
That's what I read.
Well, then I'm going to go with
online.
it. If it's online, it's got to be real.
36,000. You sold
Has to be.
36,000 tickets in 2 days. That's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
That's not
Think
too
about
shabby.
that. 36,000 tickets in 2 days.
When-
When
when-
did this happen?
Yeah, when did you know you made it? Because like every comic struggles for a while, right? Like you weren't
I
just
struggled
selling
for,
out.
I struggled
Nokia.
for the first 15 years.
Okay.
And
Really?
yeah, I've been doing it 26 years now.
Yeah,
so.
there you
That's
go.
a long
Ladies
time.
and gentlemen, by the way, let that be a lesson. I love when people are like, just gotta happen. Now, 15 years. I always say that to people. You want to be a comic? You want to be a good comic, a headliner? I'll see you in 15 years.
So,
Yeah.
so
Not
you,
10,
so
15.
15, yeah.
So you were doing it for a while, and then when did it? You were like, all right, I'm gonna make a living doing this.
Well, I mean, I decided to make a living doing it about 95, so 6 years in.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's when I finally like quit all my day jobs, working in shoe stores or.
Because you're making money.
Yeah, here's what I was doing. I was DJing on weekends.
Sick.
I,
What was your DJ name?
I went with a couple, but I ended up just a DJ Russell. I tried Danger Russ at one point.
Ooh, Dangerous.
And then I would make these
not bad,
make
actually.
these mixtapes, and I would take this LL Cool J song that he did called Dangerous, and then I would break it down like Danger Russ, Danger Russ.
Ooh, I'm not mad at that
Yeah,
at
and
all.
I'd break it down, and then, but fuck
So
it.
you're DJing.
And you had instant credibility with the brothers because
Because I grew up with them.
yeah, and you're a dark skinned
I was with the brothers since I was about 4 or 5.
Were you treated differently because you were Indian ethnicity?
No, because
No.
it was Canada, so
Yeah.
like a
the
melting
white people
pot.
treated me differently, but the black people took me in as their own.
Yes.
I was like I was their little Mowgli.
So you're making
Rudyard
money being a
Kipling.
DJ, selling shoes, and then eventually you just started.
And then I just started getting more gigs.
Yeah.
It started in '89. You're on the amateur circuit for a while. You get a fucking $20 gig here, a $5 gig there, whatever it is. I took every gig that came my way. It was like, Russ, do you want to go 5 hours north for $50? Is there a hotel room? Yes. Can I have free soda? Yes.
Free soda.
I'll be there.
Free soda.
Well, here's what I was thinking about the other day because we had a really short conversation where you had just come off tour. I came off stage, and you were trying to write new stuff. And I was thinking to myself because I just shot my special, so I'm desperately trying to write new stuff.
Yes.
And why? Because I'm going to be in Calgary, for example, like in October, and I know that I've been back there 5 times now, and they expect a new bag of tricks. I don't want
Right.
to go to Calgary and show up with the same stuff. I've got to come up with a new game.
Right.
And that's a lot of pressure for me. I'm playing yucks. You're playing massive theaters and stadiums. That's got to be arenas. Sorry, and
Sold
you're
out
right.
arenas.
You're right because you're as big as Kevin Hart. I hope
No,
people know
I think
that.
Kevin's bigger.
Well. By the way,
in North America, definitely Kevin's bigger.
the bottom line is that's still a toss-up. Let's just put it that way. Not worldwide.
It's in a
Not
discussion.
worldwide. He's not.
Especially.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
Rankings,
thing. Kevin has
rankings.
movies and TV behind him, too.
I understand.
I have none of that.
Right. Except for
Which
you did
gives
a
you
good
more
job. You
credit
did a good
as a
job in
comedian.
Chef.
Right?
I was in Chef. Yeah, but here's the thing. I love what Kevin's doing,
Yeah,
first
me
of
too.
all. But, it's easy to sell out an arena or a stadium when you're hot.
Yeah.
But I'm on my fourth arena tour.
Boom.
So it's like I did an arena tour, then I wrote a new act, did another arena tour, then I wrote a new act, did another arena tour, and wrote another act and did another arena tour.
That's a lot of work.
So I'm on my 4th arena tour. So I mean, yeah, if you're still selling out 4 different
Something's
acts
going
in an arena
right.
tour, then then it's a different
And you're
story. But
doing
when
it-
you're hot, I mean, look at Dane. Dane sold it out when he was hot, but
Yeah.
he got 1 arena tour.
Yeah.
He's not
So
selling
people
out
make a bigger
now.
deal about that than they do what I'm doing.
Well, like that's what's so weird about it is that people don't realize what you've been doing for so long, and also the pressure of coming up with new stuff because you have such a huge fan base. How do you deal with that?
I mean, you know what it is? My fans are just loyal.
Yeah.
They're not, there might be the ones that glom on when you're hot.
Yeah.
But then my base is so solid.
Who is your base? When you look out there, is it mostly brown faces?
No, it's not.
It's everybody.
There's a lot of brown faces. Don't get it wrong.
Yeah.
But you know what it is? I hate likening myself to this because I don't feel I'm worthy of this.
To Jesus?
Exactly.
Good.
But
Chalking it up to Jesus.
But Jesus, the guy who actually parks my car. I've been likened by people. I've been said to, like Richard Pryor, how he came in and he spoke to a bunch of people that were not being spoken to
100%.
in a language that they needed to be spoken to, and the way he wrote and the characters he painted on stage, really connected with the black community and then the white people who hung around black people that were aware of black people at that time. And then I came along and I did the same thing without knowing this, and I appealed to a bunch of people who else weren't being talked to.
Yeah.
So you had the black and white covered, and then I spoke to everybody else, which there's a whole lot more of everybody else than there are of just black and white.
Well, I feel like you represent the new India, even though you're more Canadian, and I know you're more like Western, but
I like
this
that you
is
said more, like I'm somewhat.
well, no. I mean, you started out. I think on YouTube, a lot of people from Asia, India, and those places said, "Wait a minute, there's this guy who's at least human beings are tribal."
Yeah.
And they go, "This guy looks like us. I haven't seen a comic like that, and he's really funny. And you got to see this guy." Human beings, when you see somebody who looks like you and
You're gonna latch on
you're
to
gonna
it.
latch on.
Absolutely.
And so in that sense, that's kind of what you.
That's what I did. But what happened
Yeah.
was in that special that got chopped up, the one I did in 2003.
Yeah.
That's the one that got sent around.
Right.
And I did so many jokes about so many different ethnic groups that the bits got cut up into ethnic groups. So I would get emails from Italy. I'd get Jamaica. I would get the Chinese. The Chinese loved me all of a sudden.
Wow.
And then, there's a lot of Chinese people. They make a lot of them. So
But you also represent sort of what I say, the new India. Like, you're a macho guy. You box. You're into MMA. You're a dude.
You're into dudes.
You're
fucking
into
love
guys.
Well, no.
You're
Is
into,
that-
there
Is
it
that
is.
too much?
Yeah.
I was just trying to chime in.
I just shopped all over the place.
I shobbed. I'm shobbing. I'm shobbing. But you are, and what I notice is like this is gonna sound. I lived in India as a kid.
Did you really?
Yes, and
What
Pakistan
the-
as well. Don't worry about it. And,
Let's talk
You guys
about
are
this.
brothers.
We will. I grew up. My sister was born in Bombay.
Really?
Yes,
Why are these things I don't know about you?
in Mumbai, I should say now.
You guys aren't
Yeah,
that
it was
close
Bombay.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I know,
was
I thought
Bombay, but
we
now
were
it's
friends,
Mumbai.
But
No, man.
apparently he's fucking had secrets.
Oh,
all this
I
time.
grew up all over the world, my friend. I moved to this country when I was 14, so don't kid
He's a
yourself.
foreigner.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
immigrants.
I know. I'm an immigrant.
Destroying this nation.
You know who else?
Where were you born?
You know who was a Syrian immigrant? Don't you, everybody?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Stephen Jobs' dad. So
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
that's right.
Remember,
Boom.
when you call
Yeah.
migrants, they're a lot of
Yeah,
smart,
he is
special
actually
people out there.
Syrian. I
Yes.
heard that. Yeah, but that's why it's ISIS, because Steve Jobs had something to do with it.
That's
Otherwise,
it.
it was
He
just
created ISIS.
It
ladies
it was
and
just going to
gentlemen.
be cis. But when Steve Jobs got his hand, it became
I'm trying to think-
the
it
ISIS.
The
I'm trying-
ISIS.
the only other comic who's really Indian descent is what's it? Azim?
I
Azim?
sneezed. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Is
I sneezed on- but like what I notice is like when I go to Canada or wherever, and I have like there are a lot of like I'll have a lot of like Indian people who come to the show and stuff. Like you have a mix of people, and it's like nowadays you see a lot of Indian people who are like these dudes who have so assimilated. There's so much Indian pride. India is becoming a superpower, as an example.
Yes.
You see a lot of Indian dudes who are jacked, who are lifting. Like, who says I got to be a skinny vegetarian? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a big, muscular,
But you can
brown
always
guy.
tell because they have little tiny Indian wrists. Still.
Unless they're Sikhs. The Sikhs are big motherfuckers.
they are big farmers.
Yeah, they're big people.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
so you're saying Indian people look
I think
like
Russell
people.
Ruppel
Ruppel.
I love
Ruppel
Ruppel.
Wilson.
Ruppel's better.
Ruppel represents New Ippian, and that's what I'm trying to say.
I think I did when I was in my 30s, but now that I'm in my mid 40s, it's a different game.
You've
They're
given
like,
up.
They're like Russell, thank you, but here's the new guy,
Here's the new guy.
and I accept that.
That
I
happens.
accept
How did you get into fighting?
that. Started when I was 15, back
Boxing.
in '85, boxing. I was just getting bullied a lot and beat up all the time.
This
I
is
was
in Canada.
In Canada, I was a small kid, and then my dad used to box in India because it was compulsory in boarding school back then.
Oh.
And then and then one of this guy that I grew up with was a Canadian champ, a boxing guy, Willie Blackburn. And then my dad was just, go to the gym with Willie, please. please, just go.
Just go.
You're a pussy, and you need to know how to fight.
You're a pussy.
Yeah. So I went, and then I remember, like the first day in the gym, I had no clue how to throw a left hand. You know what I mean? So I was like, he was like, my coach is like, keep your arm back here and just work through. And I'm throwing my left like a, and then he was like, bounce up and down. They started like making me do shit that you don't have to do.
Yeah. So
he's like, stand in front of the mirror and now bounce back and forth with your hand up, and with your right hand, keep doing this. And he was like, faster, faster, faster. And everybody in the gym stops training and they're watching me. And he goes, I go, am I going right? He goes, who the fuck are you waving at? And I'm like,
They fucked with you.
yeah, they were fucking with me back then.
But you got pretty good, right? You sparred
I sparred a lot, yeah.
Well, you stick with it now. We're talking about we have a mutual friend, DeVille
Williamson, yeah.
Touch of sleep.
I will probably train with DeVille when I'm in Denver. He always makes me come by his new gym. Have you seen his new gym?
I haven't.
It's amazing.
Is
it's
it?
huge. It's fucking huge. And then when I'm here, I train with Buddy McGirt and I train with Ricky Keeler.
Where's that at?
Buddy comes to my house.
Buddy McGirt was a former world champion. Who did he trained Mickey Ward, didn't he? Or Gotti.
He trained Gotti. Yeah.
You follow a lot of UFC too, right?
I do.
You stay up on it.
I stay up on it.
So you're familiar with our boy Nick Diaz?
Yes, I actually. I was talking. I saw Nate last week at the fights.
Okay.
And he was saying how they're waiting on this thing to come up
on the decision.
It's such a
What
bummer.
a fucking bullshit.
What
decision.
a bullshit decision. And people go, well.
It was 3 strikes.
He knows the rules. If he's gonna, no, I get that, but you have to understand the fucking rules.
The severity of this is
well, he's 32. So basically, what they did is give him a lifetime ban because 5 years in that point in your career,
it's
game over, man. You're not gonna come back at 37 and compete.
Yeah,
and you're talking about a guy.
Is he allowed to train in that time?
You can train. You're not making money.
Yeah,
you can do whatever the fuck you want. You could skateboard for all you want.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck. But the thing is he can't make money doing what he loves.
They're going to appeal that. They have to appeal that because.
Good luck, man.
You're dealing with the U.S. You're dealing with a commission, right? So
I know, but you think the UFC would come to his defense?
Did you see what Dana said?
What did Dana say?
Not up to me, man. My hands are tied.
Man.
He's right, though. In a way, what's he going to do? The commission hates him too. The commission tortures him with lots of decisions. Like he was talking about how
because they give light sentences to.
I'm just saying.
Harrison Silva got
all
a
I'm
year
saying.
suspension
All I'm
with
saying is
steroids.
that he has been talking about Mazzagatti and how much he hates him as a ref.
What are you talking about, refs?
But that's still controlled by the commission. They said, do you think that
is that why Steve
kept
Mazzagatti's not
Mazzagatti
in any of the?
Well, they said, do you think that they've kept Mazzagatti on as a ref because it bothers you? He goes, yeah, I think because I talk so much shit about the commission that's probably what the case is. I'm not saying that's the case.
Well, then why did they get rid of Stitch for opening his mouth then?
Well, listen, that's a whole different subject.
I mean, there's a lot of bullshit going on. And
I agree, man.
Why, you think he has control over the...
No, but
they didn't have to fuck with Stitch. When all Stitch said was just...
I've talked way more shit. I've talked so much shit about Reebok.
I agree 100%.
And
I
then
think
Stitch goes,
ridiculous.
damn, man, I'm not making as much money as I used to be. Gone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But with Diaz, just put yourself in his shoes. Imagine everyone listening to this. Being a comedian, you do something, they go, you can't do that for the next 5 years. Go find something else to pay the bills.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're talking about a guy like Nick Diaz who he has the 8th grade education.
Mm-hmm.
All he knows is fighting.
Yep.
All he knows is fighting.
And he's got a genuine bad attitude. I mean, as for something you should be doing in life, he's in the right profession.
He's sure as fuck not getting into customer service.
Yeah,
you know,
he's not going to be a Walmart grader, that's for sure.
He's screwed,
But that's what I love about him as a fighter. That's why he's always been my favorite fighter.
Well, you're not
basically.
watching him for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I think
but go ahead and defend the
for weed.
Go ahead and
for
defend
weed.
the commission.
I'm not defending the commission. What I'm saying is that Dana, I don't think has any control over the commission at all.
He may not have any control of the commission, but he could say something.
You could defend your fighter. What I'm saying is, and I don't know how we're gonna do it, and I'm not on this fucking bandwagon of starting a fighters union, but no one speaks for Diaz. He has no one helping him out.
You know,
so to jump on Dana's side, and like, well, his hands are tied.
Well,
Fuck
his
off.
lawyers do. I mean, he's have to have lawyers, right? I mean, that's what
here's
to
the
do
thing.
what, Brian? Lawyers are gonna do what?
A lawyer would appeal that decision. That's all you can do. Hey, guess what? You know what sucks about the commission is that when the commission decides to do something to you, you don't have a lot of recourse. You know why? It's a government body.
I know, but
and that's what's so frustrating.
What about Mark
this.
Ratner? He used to be the head of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Now he works for the UFC.
He's an employee of the UFC.
So he knows the ins and outs of that thing.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
listen.
He
I
could
don't
be
know.
Hey man, seriously?
Maybe.
How about a year?
How about the fact that weren't you saying that one of the guys on the commission owns marijuana dispensaries?
Yes.
I mean, talk about hypocrisy.
Well, but I think is they go, well, he violated 3 times. I get that. There is no scientific evidence nowhere in the world that marijuana
is a performance-enhancing drug.
It's definitely not an
There's just-
enhancer.
No, it's just not. What?
Yeah, there's
Nobody
no way
would
you're
disagree with
enhanced.
that.
And it was after the fight he did it.
Yeah. So then just listen to this for a second. Anderson Silva, 100%, we know for a fact, was on steroids when he fought Nick Diaz.
Yes.
He got a year suspension and $50,000 fine.
Yeah.
Nick got
Diaz,
250,000, wasn't it?
It's 105,000.
105,000.
105,000.
That he
That's
does
a
not
lot of
have,
money. That's a
probably.
lot of money. 105 grand for smoking weed.
But a guy like that, what's he gonna do?
Now, if this was Denver, this would never have happened because it's not illegal.
Well,
It's insane. Man.
the fact that it's criminalized and the fact that is such an outdated law, the idea that marijuana is a performance-enhancing drug, which is the only basis for outlawing.
What about
something
Johnny
like that,
with
is
the cocaine?
unbelievable.
No suspension at all.
None.
0 suspension, 0 fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only gave him in trouble for drinking and driving.
What about guys with domestic violence charges?
You know, they beat the rap. No.
Yeah.
But then Nick Diaz, yeah, he's screwed, man. You're basically what you did is ban this kid for life, and man, knowing Nick got the I don't know him well, but it's not going to be good, man. When you take away a guy's only outlet, and what he knows.
You're poking an animal in a corner right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's so fucked up. It's the injustice of it is so messed up. And what's frustrating for me, knowing what he's going through, is what can
What do
someone
you
do?
do?
What
do
can
you
someone
do? Right. That's what's frustrating is you got to just
I think I'm
fucking
going to hire him
take
as
it.
security when I'm on tour.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not opposed to it. He doesn't have
You
to
have
beat
the
anybody
money?
up. He doesn't. You know,
Dude, just have him
let's
hang
get him
out.
for-
I would do
just hang
that.
out.
I would do.
I'm not opposed to helping Nick out. Free Nick Diaz.
Nick, there it is. Free Nick Diaz.
We gotta do something, man. And you read his story, it's horrible, man. And now he's basically saying, I feel bad because I dragged my brother Nate into this, and he has a shitty contract. Now he has to get kicked in the face, and that's the only way he makes money.
I don't want to open a can of worms, I'm really careful about what I say about the UFC and all that.
Well, you say nothing.
Well, because
You
I don't
defend
know
him all the
enough.
time.
I don't know enough. And
I
it's
don't
not-
know the ins and outs either.
But I will say this: I have heard from more than 3 fighters, and this is not necessarily a good thing, but the way that some fighters are bullied into signing contracts is if that indeed is the case, it's a tough thing. I would hate to be a fighter.
What do you mean if that's indeed the case? You think these guys are lying to you?
No, I don't think they're lying to me.
Listen.
Just
before,
you don't have any recourse. You have to play with the biggest player. That's the problem with monopolies.
Well,
Monopolies are
that's
gonna
what I've been
behave
saying
the way they do.
since they bought Pride
What are you
and they
saying?
bought Strikeforce and then they fucking got rid of them. And then all they did was, I said they were monopolizing, and it's never really been about the fighters. It's been about the name UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really, as a fan, it's hard to follow. Like UFC, I don't know what fucking number they're at now.
190.
190 whatever. And then they have Tough.
Honey
and then
Dick,
they have
yeah.
UFC Fight Night.
Yeah.
Why don't, if you bought all these other companies, why don't you have UFC as your number one, and then you keep Strikeforce and you keep Pride as, you change it, UFC Strikeforce Night or UFC Pride Night. So then you know what you're fucking getting.
Well,
You know what I mean?
It's more than that for me. It's
No,
also,
but I know there's
yeah.
that. But then, but again, the number of it's UFC and the number. Who's fighting is irrelevant. It's not about the fighters. It's about the corporate name.
Exactly.
100%.
And not only that,
100%.
And I've been saying that for years, and people are like, "Oh, it's going to take over boxing." It's never going to take over boxing because the fighters are never going to make enough money.
I agree.
and that's that. And the fighters can't, like someone like Nate Diaz.
Nick.
For me, I mean Nick. No, I'm talking about his brother, who's currently
the younger
fighting.
one, yeah.
Like, here's how I feel. I've seen this over and over again. These guys aren't given the dignity of even earning a fucking living.
Yeah.
And that makes me, it really turns me off. It really turns me off to watching the UFC in that sense. Like if you're taking fighters like who have no recourse and they have to play ball and they're told to fight for this or see you later, and you can't even afford to live on your own. You got a roommate with somebody as a grown man. It makes me.
Well, in 2015, when I saw the Reebok deal, I was like, what? This day and age, we're going down that road?
Yeah.
Because now
that was weird.
Now it's even more like, well, not only are we going to not pay you good, but those sponsors that were paying you well, sorry, we want you guys all look the same.
Yeah, it's dumb. I don't know what they're thinking with that deal. I mean, they must have made a shit ton of money off of that.
something.
The fighters didn't, but
It's tough, man.
It's just ultimately to me, I don't know how. Like I've said to fighters, I go, why are you fighting? You know,
nothing else to do.
I'm talking about like guys who are on the card, UFC guys who are really good fighters, and they can't make any money. and you're like, why would you even fight? I certainly, if I was a good athlete, I would never go into MMA now.
Think about Nick and Nate Diaz. They're different than me, right? Like I just like to be on camera and whatever, and get sponsors, and then do post-fight interviews.
You're tall. You got good hair.
Huge dick.
Jesus.
No.
And you better. You're 6'5".
I know. It'd be terrible if it was a nub.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's just this little thing.
I got shoved. I got shoved.
No, but
Brendan's got an Audi.
The thing about the Diaz is that they truly love to fight. For them, it's really not about marketing and all this stuff. They genuinely love to fight. It just so happens that Nick can't now. Nick doesn't get paid very well. This isn't going to end well, man.
No.
How did you guys think this was going to end?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you think they were going to parlay this into a movie career?
Yeah.
Well, how do you think? There's only one Ronda Rousey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How did we think this
I
was
almost
gonna
feel
end?
like in a way, acting, like you're gonna get an acting. If somebody says they come to LA and they want to get an acting, the first thing I say is I go, ooh, man, you better have no other options. Like you want to be an actor? Even a comic. Ooh,
Yeah.
I always
I
go,
always say
bad
that.
idea. And I almost feel like I understand that fighting is like fighters have never made a lot of money. Most fighters there have always been a handful of boxers who've made the money and everybody else struggles. So in a way, I know this comes with the territory. I know in some ways somebody who runs the UFC or would be involved in the UFC would say, fighting has always been this way. It's not our responsibility. We have an organization. We're responsible for, 1,200 fighters or something. Not everybody can get paid. I get that, right? I get that.
I don't get that. I don't.
You don't
You're
get
a
that.
billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
And
You can pay everybody.
You can pay everyone.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
I don't
gotta
know
pay
what their
everybody fairly,
books
is what it
say.
is.
I don't know, right? I don't know. And maybe
between
Do you
Never
know what? They're
mind.
struggling, Brian. They're struggling. That's why
never
they
mind.
can't pay.
Just
profits are down.
profits are down, but they still have those gyms. They still have all the
sponsors,
all the sponsors, all the fight gear, all the
the Fox contract.
Yep. Listen,
There's a lot of money
bottom line
floating
is, if there is a
Look
lot
at
of
me,
money
look
and
at
they're
me.
not giving it to the fighters, then it's to me bad business because you're just not going to attract good athletes after a while. Who the fuck wants to be a fighter? You want to be an MMA fighter? It's for no one right now,
Yeah.
right? Is it?
You could, I
It's
I
for
honestly
Conor
think you could make
McGregor,
more-
Ronda Rousey.
You can make more money at Bellator right now as a fighter, I think.
Uh-oh.
I'm not
true.
saying,
Russell.
I'm just saying.
What do you mean? Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm fucking.
it's true. It's.
You could
But
go
that's
that,
an
you can go to
opportunity.
World Series of Fighting.
That's an opportunity for both those organizations.
You can go to Japan.
Yeah.
Japan, you make a shitload of money.
Well,
Why don't you go to Japan?
You're
taller than everybody.
Diaz, the freak show. Diaz could, even though he's suspended here, he could probably.
No, he's got a UFC contract. He's locked in with them.
Well,
so he can't even go fight for someone else because he's
the UFC's not gonna let him go.
no,
Because they don't want him to go, because he's a needle mover, so they're not going to let him go to Japan and fight.
So could he, if the UFC did let him go,
He could go fight
He could go fight in-
but he couldn't fight in Bellator because it's the same commission?
No.
No, because he could fight in LA. He could fight in California.
Well,
He could fight
in America, though, the commissions kind of stick together. So if you're banned in Nevada, you're banned everywhere. In America, they're good at it. However, he could go to Australia, Brazil, London, all
but
these
there's
other
still like
places.
those bullshit states that have like remember when Mike Tyson was banned? He
Yeah.
still fought in Memphis.
It's true.
Could he fight for the UFC in London
No,
or in
the
Australia?
UFC wouldn't do that.
Because they
The
don't
UFC
want to
wouldn't do
piss
that.
off the
They don't want to deal
Nevada
with the
commission.
repercussions from the commission. But if the UFC said, "Listen, we can't use for the next 5 years," they would never do this. But if they were like, "Yo, listen, we can't use you. We get it. We're gonna let you out of your contract. Go make money elsewhere."
You don't think they're going to let him out of his contract? You think they're going to
won't.
make him stay in
There's
his...
no way they won't. Why would they?
Ah,
Well,
Brian!
Oh my
That
God.
would be fair. Why would you be fair?
That's
Why would
disgusting.
they do that?
Why would they
That's
do
why-
that?
that's
So
why-
you
Hey,
think-
go build this other organization.
So what? You give the man dignity. So they want to hold on
They
to
don't
that.
give a fuck about dignity.
That's
Come on,
outrageous.
B.
That's fucking outrageous.
I know.
That's like it's
That's
the
disgusting.
fight game. It's a fucking
Yeah.
No,
It's business.
No, it's bullshit.
I know it's
indecent.
bullshit because here's the thing. They know.
So you hold on to that guy and let him rot, and just because you don't want him to go to your
We
competitor.
don't want him to go to competitor and make money.
That's incredible to me. I could never do that to somebody.
Well,
What
why
if
do you
you-
think
what if you
boxing?
own-
That's this. Here's the thing.
ahead.
UFC is going down the same road boxing went down, and when people were like, "Oh, boxing's all fucked up," well, guess who's coming down the road next? You guys are doing they're doing the exact same thing. You know how promoters wouldn't let fights happen.
Yep.
Oh, I don't like you.
Yeah.
You're not fighting my guy.
Yep.
It's turning into the same thing.
I feel like, and I know maybe I'm naive, I feel like if Nick Diaz called Dana White would let him go.
I don't think he would.
I want to slap the fuck out of you right now.
I mean,
You're smarter than this, Brian. All the shit we've been through.
but so you're gonna hold
The
on to somebody for
stuff I
5
tell
fucking
you,
years?
The text I've sent you.
Russell, help me.
I got you.
Then you know what? I may not ever have to be able to watch another UFC fight That's fucking crazy to me. It's outrageous.
It hurts my feelings as a fan.
Fuck, it makes me.
I have no financial investment in the UFC other than being a ticket purchaser or a pay-per-view buyer, but it bothers me.
I want to hear from Nick Diaz.
Things like that.
I want to hear that he can't get out of his contract now. That they wouldn't let him out of his contract.
So here's what's going to happen. First, they're going to appeal, and then hopefully get the sentence knocked down to a year.
Okay.
Right? And if they
Maybe
do that,
3.
then that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Even if 3 years is still some bullshit. But
I
whatever.
agree. 3 is horrible.
All right. Well,
when Anderson Silva was doing fucking, fucking steroids and getting a year, that's bullshit against the same guy.
Yeah, they
but
fought each other.
It was the third time offense,
But
guys.
steroids compared to marijuana?
Yeah,
How
marijuana.
crazy is that?
You know, marijuana really speeds up your jab.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
giving guy an offense if I stole candy from a shop and this guy murdered each other. You know what I'm saying? He murdered someone's like, you get a year, you get 3.
Injustices, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen, I love the UFC, but there's certain things that happen where I'm like,
No, you
what?
don't. No, you don't.
There's certain things I love about the UFC, 100%.
Yeah. Dana White, I know you listen to this podcast religiously. Joe Silva, let him out of his contract.
Dana's sitting there going, "You fucking assholes."
No,
100%.
I just I don't know him well, so I don't.
I don't know him well either.
I
It's funny, as I've met him a few times, but every time I meet him, it's like a new introduction every time, and I'm like,
What can you do?
He meets a lot of
Whatever.
people.
yeah. I mean, you're meeting him at those times where he's meeting a ton of people.
Yeah,
so.
he's constantly.
I get it. It's not
It's a tough situation, man. It's a tough situation. I don't know what you do.
Can't Lorenzo? And
I'm
his
quiet.
brother do
I'm
anything?
quiet about this stuff about criticism for anyone like Dana or Lorenzo.
You have
or
no backbone. But
It's
no, what
because
were you saying?
it's because I don't know anything about what it's like to run a huge organization. I don't.
know
Nor do
what
I
it's
know
like to be a
anything-
good human
Yeah,
being.
I do, but I know nothing about what it's like to run an organization. Nor do I know anything about what their financial situation really is. I don't. I'm not in those rooms. I don't know anything. I don't. So I always try to be really careful and fair about that. But when you tell me that, like, if this is the case, if someone like Nick Diaz is not allowed out of his contract because there's going to be competition and a needle mover for another, quote unquote, for another organization, to me, I don't understand that kind of behavior.
Well, the UFC too, they're gonna wait to see what happens with the appeal,
Yeah.
and if it's only a year, obviously they're not gonna
Sure.
let him go.
Sure.
Now, if
I would
it's
hold
5
on.
years,
Yeah, I would hold on to him. I'd want.
I
him.
would hold on to him if it's a year.
Yeah.
If it's longer than that, I would let him. go.
Maybe they're letting this all marinate with us and let the outrage begin, and then they'll make it look like they're the hero. Maybe. And if that's the case, then that's fine. with
Would
me.
you?
I think
wanna
that's what
be-
they do every time. Like with the Reebok deal, everyone's freaking out. Like, just wait till it simmers down. I swear these Reebok kits are gonna sell. They're just
Nobody's buying Reebok.
no. Have you ever seen a Reebok kit?
Russell, do you not wear Reebok?
I bought a pair of pump once, Reebok.
Well, I think
pumps.
Dana was caught at the airport wearing nothing but Nike.
That's hilarious.
Today he had all Nike.
He had all Nike. on.
Hilarious.
All Nike on.
Is that right?
Yeah,
That's
he's
fucking hilarious.
not contractually signed with Reebok, right? So what's
No.
the big deal?
But he is sort of the face of the UFC.
How funny is it? No, he's the most famous person in the UFC.
Yeah.
Which
That
is very
might be an
bizarre.
issue.
Which is
Yeah.
very bizarre to me because as we've talked about, personally, I sign in to watch a human being, not a brand. Like,
Well, here's the thing. You know what I liken it to? Yuck Yucks in Canada. When I was coming up, it was all about the Yuck Yucks name. It didn't matter if you were selling tickets or not. It was all about the Yuck Yucks
because people went
name.
to Yuck Yucks.
Yeah, we're going to Yuck Yucks. Who are you going to see?
get my
Doesn't
yucks.
matter. We're going to Yuck Yucks.
Yep.
We're going to UFC. Who's fighting? Doesn't matter. We're going to UFC. These are for all the peripheral, the new fans, all the people that jump on board. But the actual fans, like guys like you and myself, who were watching it when it was the Ultimate Fighting Championships, who was watching the fucking Abu Dhabis back in the day, and watching all the Pride fights and whatever fights you could muster up, the Long Beach fucking all this shit we were watching since the early '90s. And we're the ones that get affected.
Right.
The new fans don't give a shit.
They don't know
Right.
the difference.
To them, it's the hot thing to do.
Yeah.
And when they go away, you're going to be stuck with us, who are going to be like, remember us, motherfuckers?
That's right.
And Yuck Yucks did a very similar thing to me back when I first, I guess in the early 2000s.
Is Yuck Yucks big?
They were in the 80s.
Okay.
But you're not in the 80s anymore. And even in the 90s, they opened up a lot of clubs and they started closing and closing. And I remember when I started selling tickets for them, you would only get $200. At the most, you would get a show at Yuck Yucks was $200. You were a AAA headliner.
Wow.
$200 a show.
Ballin'.
Right? And then I started selling out their clubs, and they were like, all right, we're going to be fair to you. We're going to give you a $200 a show plus $1 from extra a dollar extra for every paid customer that comes in. And I was like, cool, right? Tickets were $17. They raised it to $20. So they got $2 extra.
Dirty.
And I got one. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
it's a very similar.
thought it was gonna be a
you
good
can
deal.
kind of see where unions come from and all these
Yeah,
things.
no,
you
I
know what I mean?
understand that, you know, and so like that's why I see the exact same thing happening. I'm like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah. Well, that's how
I don't know
that's
what you
how I
do,
feel.
man. I don't know what you do. Some days I literally just feel like being like, have at it.
How often do you
Fuck
train
this.
still?
Well, you don't need
Every
it,
day.
Brendan.
Every day.
Like Brendan doesn't
train
need
every
it.
day.
Just take it down a notch there, Brendan. Jesus Christ, I get it, all right?
He does. He's a nut. He still trains.
Every day, but
How hard do you go?
I mean, this morning I trained for 2 hours.
What'd you do?
Boxing for an hour, and then sprints and condition for an hour.
No jiu-jitsu?
No jiu-jitsu.
Just
today.
rusty now?
Yeah, just pure
all
rusty.
kinds
You know, when I did train jiu-jitsu, I trained with Carlos Newton back in the day.
Oh, nice, man.
From 97.
One of the original champs.
Yeah, Carlos and Omar Saldana.
That's
What
a
is
good
Carlos
group.
still fighting? What is
I don't know.
this guy
I think
doing?
he
I
wanted to
don't
become a
think
doctor
so.
at one point.
Awesome.
He wanted to become a doctor. He
Why
lost
not?
His, he's a smart guy.
Yeah, that's a
He's a weird guy, but he's a smart guy.
He's a weird
Is
guy.
he weird?
Weird guys
he's
are good.
eccentric. He's eccentric. He's
Yeah.
not weird, but he's kind of got an artsy brain, you know. But he wanted to be a doctor. He wanted to do something. He speaks Japanese.
He's a nice guy, though.
He's
Smart
a great
dude,
guy.
too.
Yeah,
Met him a couple
he'll
of
kill
times.
you, but
He'll kill you. Yeah,
Yeah.
rip your face off. Speaking of
First
which-
time I met him, he kicked me in the face.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Not hard. Just kind of like I walked into the gym and they were like, "Oh, Carlos, this guy knows boxing." Kick. And I was
How's
like,
your boxing? Yeah.
I was like,
Do you
"What
watch
the fuck?"
boxing?
Yeah, of
You're a
course.
big boxing fan.
Boxing to me is number one. UFC, MMA is number two to me.
I get that. I think right now boxing is the best it's been in a
That's
long,
what
long
I say.
time.
There's a lot of fucking potential on this horizon.
Yeah.
So much
I always,
potential.
and I always say boxing goes up in waves. You know, there's
Right now, it's the highest
it's on
I've
its
seen
way
in a
back
long
up.
time.
And now that
What?
Mayweather's gone to
Huge.
sleep, you got GGG, you got
Canelo,
you got a lot
Thurman,
of great
you got
fights coming.
Garcia.
I want to
Yeah.
see.
I think
want to
Thurman's
see.
highly overrated though.
You
Thurman,
think he's a
Thur-
knockout
Thur-
artist?
He
though.
is.
He has
but
a horrible list.
Yes, but he also can't.
this guy?
He can't figure people.
He's like,
out.
I'll fuck that guy up, man. That's the way he talks.
You know what he looks like? He looks like an R&B singer, like he used to be in Ready for the World or something.
He looks like he came from Blackstreet, and then he just has a horrible list.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he can knock your ass out.
Oh yeah. But the better his competition gets, the less effective he's been showing.
Well,
wanna see,
I think Triple G is a little overrated. I'm gonna take some heat for
Really?
that. He hasn't fought anyone.
It's true, but he's shown the skill level and he's shown the ability to fight at a better level. But he's like, well, why am I going to do it against this guy?
who is a
But
matchup?
also those
who's a
guys.
matchup-
wanna just start
But also
putting-
the big names don't want to fight him because
Yeah.
here he really doesn't have a name, and he's dangerous as fuck.
Who would you like to see him fight?
Canelo?
He'd kill
He's
Canelo.
bigger than
I disagree.
Canelo.
No,
I
he's
think he'd
not.
kill Canelo. Canelo's too.
I
Canelo's
disagree.
too slow and boxy.
I disagree.
Bump,
I
bump,
disagree.
Bump, and
So
GGG can move.
So Triple G's fighting whoever.
Lemieux.
Yes.
David Lemieux, that's a great fight.
It's a good fight. He'll knock him out for sure. It's not that competitive.
Hasn't
for
he
him.
knocked out pretty much everybody? Everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Canelo and Cotto are fighting, and
Yeah,
the winner of
Cotto's
that,
there-
the
Cotto's
winner
there
of
to
that
cash
are
a
gonna,
check.
yes. But the winner of that fights Triple G.
Yes.
That's cleared,
Absolutely.
and that'd be Triple G's like first blockbuster fight. Then from there he can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about? I'd like to see Kovalev fight Andre Ward. That's the fight
I would
wanna
like to see Kovalev fight Andre Ward, and I think Kovalev will knock out Andre Ward.
Really?
Kovalev.
I also think Andre Ward's another guy who
Stop
who
it.
believes his own hype.
Stop it.
He is.
What is your deal?
Andre Ward has all the potential in the world, right?
Might be the best pound for pound boxer in the world.
No, he hasn't fought anybody.
Well, he's been hurt.
No, he just doesn't.
But you're going to
fucking-
be on Triple G's nuts.
He doesn't fight.
Yeah,
Brendan.
but
He
Triple
doesn't
G
fight a lot,
fights
though.
every 3 months,
True.
and Andre Ward
he's
hasn't fought in a
fighting.
year and a half.
He's been hurt.
And
He's
even-
not
and
been
even
hurt
before
this past
then-
year and a half.
even before
he's
that-
trying
Bro,
to sit out
he's-
his contract.
True. But before that,
I was at that fight
his last fight,
Ontario,
which
California.
was rough. Yeah.
And I was like, this guy's a fucking bum you're fighting, and you can't get him out of there?
He's a little rusty.
Hey, man, you could be rusty, but after the third round, you can be like, all right, I got this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can be like,
He's a
all right,
little
let's,
rusty.
let's just fucking put this guy to sleep.
Watch
That guy
your
was
hands, bro.
just standing there taking punches.
Yeah.
Andre would not step into his punches, wouldn't plant his feet. I don't know why Virgil didn't get in his ass and be like, yo, fucking sit on this guy and knock him out.
Ooh, Andre Ward's a beast, man.
I think he's a great fighter. I think he's got a lot of potential. But I think
he has more potential than
I think he's
anyone out
pissing
there.
his potential away by not fighting.
I
like
agree.
that.
They
I
have
agree
not
100%
fought
with
him
that.
at all. Like, how many fights has he had in the past 5 years?
In the past 5 years, I would say he had 4 fights.
That's incredible.
Why don't we check that?
I'd say five.
That's not
five
a
to
lot.
6.
Yeah.
He was hurt for a bit of it, and now he's waiting out his
You
contract.
could argue they're doing it the smart way, right? I mean, in a way,
No, it's not smart because there's no hype on him anymore.
Yeah.
Only the real boxing heads are talking about him.
Right. So let him fight Kovalev. That'd be really interesting.
I think American and Kovalev are fighting next.
No, Amir Khan.
Amir Khan's way too small for
Kovalev.
Kovalev.
No. Sorry, not Kovalev. It's American hold.
Provodnikov? That's a terrible.
The Siberian.
Yeah,
Provodnikov.
Provodnikov. Ruslan.
That's what I heard.
That's a bad fight for Amir.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, Provodnikov.
I don't
That's
like
the
that
rumor.
fight for
That's
Amir
the rumor
at all.
mill.
But Provodnikov had such a war. I think it was with Bradley.
I think people figured out the Russian Rocky. I think the Siberian Rocky. I think people have figured him out.
He
Yeah, but
edged
if
out a
12
victory.
rounds and you get hit on the chin, and if you have Amir's chin, it's not a good look for you. You're going to sleep.
Yeah. He was peeing. He peed black.
Provodnikov or Tim Bradley?
Yeah, Provodnikov.
After the Bradley fight?
Yeah, Tim
Bradley had a
is
stutter.
beast.
He had a stutter after that fight.
Yeah.
I-
Bradley's not the same guy. He's like Meldrick Taylor after the
He's
Chavez
had the
fight.
craziest fights.
People have
Bradley's
just never grabbed onto Bradley. He's a guy where I don't
don't
know
like
why.
Bradley.
the
don't
most
like Bradley
rugged
either.
fighter ever.
No one does. No one likes Bradley. Like I
Why?
don't dislike him, but I'm not like, oh hell yeah, Tim Bradley.
But he's
fighting.
been through wars where you're like, how are you
I know,
able
don't
to
care.
even? How
I
can
don't
you
know
even
what it
take
is.
that?
He's just not marketable. He doesn't speak
He's
well.
quiet.
He's
quiet.
a good dude.
Yeah.
He's fought some of the best.
Yeah, he's incredible.
It's weird, isn't
His
it?
ability to take punishment and keep coming.
did
What a
you-
warrior.
Andre Ward fought in fucking June? What? I don't remember this fight. Paul Smith?
Oh yeah, Paul Smith. That's Tony Jeffries' boy, and he lost.
Okay,
he
so
knocked him out. He knocked Paul Smith out.
Yeah,
Correct.
TK on the 9th.
Yeah, there you go.
But look,
Booyah.
he fought in 2015, and then he fought in 2013. I was at that fight.
Took a solid year off.
2 years. Year and a half.
Contract injuries, my man.
And look, one fight in 12.
He's
one
pissing his
fight in
career away.
11. 2 fights in 11.
Yeah, it's not good.
2 fights in 10.
I mean, it's not terrible. 2 fights a year. Is
Not
that
good.
not
No,
a
but
lot?
that's 2010. It's 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was 5 years. ago.
Yeah.
2 fights in 2010.
Is 2 fights not a lot a year for a
If
fighter?
you're Mayweather,
If
it's
you're
a
Mayweather,
bunch.
yeah.
But
But
if you're
if
you wanna fight
Andre
more than that?
Ward,
Yeah.
he's really not a megastar. We know him, but he should have been.
Right.
And he's 31. I mean, he's not.
It's time to get going.
Yeah, you. First of all, yeah, you're at your prime right now. It used to be 25, but at these higher weights, you can raise that up.
I agree. But boxing, it couldn't be a better time, man. Boxing's amazing. Did
exciting.
you watch the Mayweather fight this past
I
weekend?
could not.
Really?
I was doing a show, and I just knew how the fight was going to go.
I could not.
It's
Was
kind-
there a better fight for Mayweather out there?
I think I honestly
Amir
think
Khan?
Mayweather Khan
'Cause Khan's so
would be-
fast?
because Khan's fast and give him a tough time, and because Khan's chin can make the fight exciting
It's
because
marketable.
it could end at
Why-
any moment.
But
okay.
Mayweather went over this. They were like, dude, why Berto? And he went over and he's like, listen, man.
Same record.
No, none of that. He goes, Amir Khan had some contract dispute, so he couldn't fight. He wanted to fight
Amir
next
Khan
year.
couldn't because of Ramadan. He couldn't train.
There was that, and there was something in his contract where
And this is why I'm an atheist.
he had to do it next year. He had to do it next year. And he's like, I don't want to wait then. They asked Thurman. Thurman was hurt.
But here-
he goes through the list.
You want to know what
Yeah.
I think? Here's what I think. I think he's gonna come out of retirement. He's gonna sign a big money deal and fight Pacquiao and Khan. That's it.
Oh, I think he fights just Pacquiao. and
I
gets
think
out.
he's gonna fight Khan because there's a lot of money on the table for Khan. If he fights him in England or fucking the Middle East or what have you,
Huge.
it's huge money.
Why Khan still has? He's the Russell
my
Peters of
God.
boxing. Amir Khan's the Russell Peters of boxing.
Yeah, but I've
Correct.
never been knocked out.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And
I'm
Amir's my
an
buddy.
American
By the way,
fan. I'm an
I
American
have a
fan.
question. You sell out arenas. Why are TV and movie people not all over your ass?
I have no fucking
Because you're
clue.
a pretty good actor. You did well in Chef, dude.
Thanks.
You acted well.
I
I'm not-
loved Chef.
You did a good
I was
job
the
in
cop.
that. Remember that? He was the cop.
Who took the selfies and everything
Bicycle
Oh,
cop.
yeah.
on South Beach.
And you were
Yeah.
good.
Sandwich in the
Your
middle.
acting was fucking good.
I actually, not to toot your own horn, but I look at what you do and I go, I got to do what Bryan does. He steals his scenes.
you
I
hear
need to
that,
do
kids?
Yeah.
You hear that from the biggest comic in the world? But
Yeah,
but
like
you-
My Man's a Loser. What a great movie.
John Stamos, Michael Rappaport, and Bryan Callen.
Does your agent push for you to do movies?
You
Who's
know-
your agent, first of all?
WME now.
Okay,
I
I'm
used to
CAA
be
William
agent.
Morris.
I used to be with
Endeavor.
CAA for 10 years.
Oh,
and
wow.
10 years and they couldn't pull the trigger on anything.
But here's my question to you. The problem with this is this. You make more money than
That's
any
that's
actor
exactly
there
what I
is.
say.
You make
That's
more
exactly
money
what I
than
say.
any actor working. And a lot of
If
people
I-
don't realize that.
if-
And for you to have to take a fucking pay cut to do a big
If
TV
I
show.
make $25 million a year,
Yeah.
why would you want to get me out of that to make you
Correct.
fucking so I can make 10 grand and you can get $100 off of that? you
Correct.
know?
True.
How has your life changed now that you make fucking
Now that you're
millions.
rich as shit, how's it changed?
Yeah, because you have private jet money, right?
I
mean,
do fly private now and then.
Yeah.
When I get a good deal, I'll do it. I'm still cheap. Like I was poor for a lot longer than I've had money.
I understand. So,
So
how
my
is-
brain still processes things in a weird way. It'll be like I'll spend money on something completely lavish and useless.
Like your car.
yeah.
Like
And-
what? What? So because this is what. So you have the kind of money we all talk about. Like, if
But
you had
then
that
I'll
kind of
complain
money,
about
how
a phone
would you-
bill. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck you, AT&T. What do you mean $500?
What do you mean $1.79 for a scoop, Panda Express?
Yeah.
You have your best quality, and people talk about this all the time. You have. I don't think money's changed you even a little bit as a person. I've never
No.
met anybody who's more of a people person. I would never think you had money. You never behave that way, and I don't know you well.
gonna
but
jack you off after
But
the
no,
show.
But I've known you.
before.
I don't know you well, but I know a lot of people know you very well, and I know how people talk about you, and I've known you long enough to know that it just literally doesn't seem to have made a dent in how you behave.
No, I always say you are who you are. And if money can change you, then you're not who you think you are.
Well, they say money brings out the real you.
Yeah, and I thank God the real me is generous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The real you's
But-
cool.
but
Like,
how is it-
married or kids?
Divorced, have a daughter. She's awesome.
So you're single.
Yeah.
Trouble, single 40 mil in the bank. Give it up, dog.
son.
You're
Yes,
winning.
son.
Yes, son.
Bitches.
Well, how have you, like, what do you like about money, and what do you not like about money, if there's anything?
What I do like about money is having it.
Yeah.
And having the freedom to not have to second guess purchases.
You can do it. You don't have to look at price
Everything's
tags.
free for you.
Yeah, I look at it and I go, and then if something is like at a price, like here's the thing, I love nice clothes.
Yeah.
You can't tell at the moment, but I like nice clothes. But I still won't go to fucking Brunello Cucinelli and buy a sweater for $6,000. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because you're not getting
I-
value.
I still go to Banana Republic for my sweaters because A, they look great, they
Yeah.
fit great, they're under $100, and if I get a hole in it, whoop-de-fucking-do, I'll buy another
Get
one.
another one. Yeah.
Because you believe in paying for value.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up earning things. You have to earn things in life. And just because you put a heavy price tag on something doesn't mean it's worth it.
Right.
Or they use Italian wool. How the fuck is that better?
Right.
Are their sheep uglier than ours? They're extra virgin? Fuck you. I'm not paying you $6,000 for a cashmere sweater.
That's kind of crazy.
Your brother's your manager, correct?
Yeah.
That's dope.
what do you
Thanks,
spend?
Brendan.
Yeah, no problem. But is it your brother's your manager because were you screwed over before? Like
No.
my brother does a lot of stuff for this show.
Right.
He runs a ton of the merchandise because we trust him, right? My brother's not gonna screw me over.
Yeah, well, that's
so is
the
it
thing.
the same thing for you?
It's
as
the
your
same thing.
manager?
My brother's my big brother. You know what I mean? Is your older brother?
Older brother, yeah.
Older brother always looks out for the younger
Yep.
brother. Always has. And then what? My brother's a lot smarter than I am.
Mine
In all
too-
fairness,
mine
you know,
too.
he thinks strategically. He thinks about the future. He doesn't think about, oh, look at all this money right now. He's like, that's a lot of money right now, but how does that affect you down the road? That this piece of money right now could affect a bigger piece of money down the road. So why don't we just think about this?
But what do you want to do? You have enough money in a way. You could retire right now.
You
So
could,
what-
I
what
could, but I still
drives
have
you?
bills. I still have, I still have a child support that I got to pay, which is a hefty fucking amount of money
Yes,
every
it is.
month. They base it off what you make. They don't
Yeah.
base it off like what the baby needs. There's no way my fucking daughter needs that much money, or my ex-wife needs that much money a month. But
You're in California, baby.
you're in
going to pay.
California,
it.
you know.
Diapers are $2 million a month.
Apparently they are. And my daughter doesn't even wear diapers anymore, so that's even worse.
That's tough.
It's people don't realize that you do spend the money you make a lot of times. I mean, your
I-
nut is huge.
Yeah,
If you
huge nut.
if you have a bunch of houses, you have 2 houses, 3 houses, whatever. It
I
might be,
have
and a bunch-
5.
You have 5 houses.
Yeah.
That's excessive. Where are the houses?
There's actually more than 5.
We need addresses.
There's 2 in Toronto. There's 1 in Vegas. There's 2 in LA. That's 5.
Why do you have so many houses?
Well, the second one in LA I'm trying to sell.
Yeah.
I'm leasing it out right now. But
Where's
I
it
wanna
at?
What would you
Studio
sell it
City.
for?
I'm in the market.
Well, it's
Well, not for studio.
It's fucking beautiful.
No, I don't care.
It's got an elevator.
Yeah, I've been.
Well,
I've
no,
been
it's
in that house.
Pimp as fuck.
That's
in
a
that
nice house. But that's more of a. I feel like that's more of a bachelor's pad.
I don't know. It's like a 5-bedroom,
It's a
6,000
big-ass
square
house.
foot house.
Yeah.
It's a compound. It's
Yeah, it's nice. What would you let that go for?
three and change.
Three and change.
Yeah.
Let me look at my bank account. We'll talk
Give me a
about it.
shout. Hangover 4 coming.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Hangover 4.
I'm
I remember,
sure.
Brian. Let me talk about Bryan Callen. He knew I wanted to be in these movies, and then he saw an opportunity for me in one of the hangovers, and called me and told me I need to go out and audition for these guys, but it never happened.
Well, you know what happened is I remember
went with you.
recommending you, and they went with me.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Yeah,
See, I don't mind that.
Yeah, but I remember calling. I
But
think
that's
I told
something I
Todd.
would do. Like I go in for something and I go, I know a guy who'd be better for this role than me.
Well, they were looking for an Indian guy, and I knew you could do it. So I said to them, I go, you should have Russell Peters in this role. It makes the most sense. And then they ended up hiring another Indian guy. He didn't work out. And then I get a call. Todd Phillips calls me when I'm in Vegas, and I'm on my way to do some comedy festival in Napa Valley. And he goes, can you get here in 3 days? I go, yeah, for the biggest sequel in the history of movies. I can work that out.
Let's relax on that, but yeah.
It was actually.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it
Well,
was.
not the biggest
It actually
ever.
was. But thank
Biggest
you.
movie ever?
Biggest sequel in at the time.
Yeah,
biggest R-rated sequel.
everybody fucking upgraded on their money on that.
Oh, yeah, everybody got super rich.
That's what
except
made
for the
Bradley's
kid.
career, I would think.
100%. In fact,
Part two?
when we shot it, Bradley was always talking about, like, he had been doing this stuff, and he was just like, fuck, what do I have to do? Nobody's watching anything. And we're like, well, you're doing this little movie. And literally, it was like this little hangover movie, and and the rest is fucking
Hangover
history.
definitely
Blew up Ken's career.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it did.
He's another great guy.
He's
He's
fucking
another
sweetheart
fucking
of a guy.
great dude.
I thought you said not a great guy.
Great guy. He's
He's
a
a
guy.
really, really awesome guy.
Yeah.
I've never met any comic who wasn't dope. The only comic, and whatever, you guys are always weird about this, comics are. The only guy I've ever heard another comic talk shit about is Dane Cook. That's the only guy ever.
He somehow
Quiet.
became the whipping boy.
Yeah.
And it's a little unfair.
Yeah.
He was always cool to me.
I mean, he's hit and miss with a lot of people.
He's the only. Everyone else,
But
I
I look at his situation and I go, you lost your mom, you lost your dad, your brother.
man.
Within like 6 months.
Yeah, and your
Recently?
fucking stepbrother fucking robbed
Stole
you.
$10 million from you.
Okay,
I mean,
that's a lot of
you'd be a
money.
little fucked up from
For
all that.
sure, man.
Yeah.
And I get it. So if he's off with you or what have you, I mean,
I think Dane is.
He's the only guy I've ever like.
I've never had a single problem with Dane at all. I've always liked him. I think Dane has had a life, maybe a childhood or whatever, where the world wasn't safe, for a guy like that, for whatever reason. That's what I've always gathered from it. So
I'm
puts you on
not
the
saying he's
defensive.
a bad guy. I'm just saying that's the only time when
oh
I've been
no, you'll
around
hear people
comics.
talk about Carlos and see ya.
Yeah, you'll hear people
true.
talk about Carlos. Oh, yeah.
True.
Yeah, I never had any problem with Dane. I've always liked him. But
Carlos Messina makes sense though. I feel like when I hear that.
well, Carlos
stuff.
Carlos
Rogan
Mencia
went
paid a big
hard.
well, and it
Rogan went.
Rogan
hard.
went in.
Well, it
It is
changed.
fucking
It
hilarious,
changed his
though.
career.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's tough to find him in anything.
Do you know
now.
why it's funny? Because that type of policing needs to be done in
Yes.
comedy.
Yes.
And, there are times where you're going to step on other people's jokes. And I'm not going to say I'm without sin in that regard of stealing a joke. I'll fucking admit it. I've stolen 2 jokes in my career.
Yeah.
One was really early in my career and one was a little later in my career. Not this late, but a
Right.
little, and I've never denied it. And I felt like a fucking idiot for doing it.
Yeah.
But what the fuck? You know what I mean? It happens.
Yeah.
But it can't
Sometime-
be your entire.
Yeah, no, but when your entire
Repertoire,
existence
yeah.
or, when people start questioning everything that comes out of your mouth, it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
You
You have that's the
Then
thing.
you're just stealing jokes.
Yeah.
You're not even a real.
I thought a
comedian.
lot of the criticism of Dane as a comic was
still
really
on Dane?
unfair.
It
'Cause I
was
thought
unfair
he
because,
cracked me up.
his first few specials really made me laugh.
hilarious.
Oh, dude, he was huge.
and he earned it. He earned
did.
it.
He was huge.
He works really hard at it.
Yes.
He still does.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
He
But
never
I think
stops-
the
he's never-
difference is,
he
I
never
thi-
stops doing stand up.
No, I think the difference is, and this is no slight, but he's not genuinely a funny person.
Yeah.
Like, you hang out with him, you're not going to be like, oh my God, that was, like, you hang out with you or me. But,
Or me.
Or
Yeah.
me.
but you're going to laugh at least a
Yeah.
few times,
Yeah.
But a lot of times you're just like, what's going on?
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I don't. I actually feel that way about a lot of comics.
There are a lot of guys who are just performers.
Yeah, they're
Well, a
just
lot
not
of
that
comics
funny
are
to-
dark.
Yeah.
A lot of them
Yeah.
are very
Whoa,
dark.
whoa, what can
Well,
I
sorry,
son of a bitch.
sorry,
Shit,
brother.
You're not
great.
exactly Johnny White Pants.
Yeah, he'll tell you he's English and German. What a lie, huh? Look at him.
Yeah, I've heard you say that on fucking Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah. He's 100%.
Ultimate Fighter. What,
Weren't you on Ultimate
9
Fighter?
years ago?
He's actually-
I would just say it 9 years
He's
ago.
Jewish, Arabic, and Native American.
Yeah, what the hell are you?
I have no idea.
He's a
man.
composite
I think I'm
man.
adopted.
He's Semitic. You're a Sephardic man.
Yeah, you're some
For
sort
your
of
fan
Semite.
base, I'll be Indian.
No, you can cross over, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, Brian's a Jew. Look at him, Callen.
I look it, but I'm not.
You're not. Your last name is Jewy as fuck.
Irish Italian.
Really?
My mother's Sicilian.
What about
but,
Jackie Callen?
But my mother might be a Spanish Jew.
Bro,
We
can
don't
I
know.
drop this?
Yeah.
Can I drop the story that we got over the weekend?
Oh, yes.
Let me fill you in on this.
Oh, yeah.
my
Well,
man.
this is good because you
Check
must deal
this
with a lot
out.
of this, Russell.
Check this out.
Crazy
So
chicks.
we're at one of my favorite restaurants, Scopa. I'm there
Which
with
one?
Scopa, Italian roots, South Washington's our favorite restaurant. It's like
Oh,
our
it's right,
Cheers.
new one.
Yeah.
Right
It's a
here.
new
Yeah,
one.
it's amazing. Amazing.
We gotta
we're
go
there.
there.
We're there
Meet
all the
after?
time. Yeah,
Yeah, we could,
So
actually.
we're there all the time. We're just chilling. It's Bryan, me, and then my boy Tony. We're just sitting there. This lady comes over, every bit of 6 foot, probably, right?
Yeah, she's
every
a
bit
good
of 6 foot. Pretty lady though.
Yeah,
pretty
but
face.
45, pretty.
45 comes over, goes, "Oh my God!" Points at me, goes, "I saw you pull up in your Porsche. I know who you are." I went,
I Googled you.
What? She goes, "I Googled you." And I went, "I'm not who you think I am."
Who did you think you were?
Right?
We're getting
She-
there? We're
she-
getting there.
Yeah, she goes, "Oh, I'm not who you think I am." And then she goes, "Oh, okay, you're not the UFC guy." I go, "No, sorry." Go back, talk to my friends. Old Bryan the Kid Callen here goes, No, this is Brendan Schaub. Go ahead and sit down. Crazy bitch.
Well, I didn't say sit down, actually. Well, I knew she was crazy, but it looked entertaining. It looked like
Was she
she
a
had
hot kind of?
No, yeah. She was hot.
Pretty.
Hot,
she,
crazy,
She was a
or-
handsome middle-aged man. She was a
Yeah.
big woman with long hair. I was way too light in the ass for her. I mean, that's it. She was every bit. She's clearly bigger than me in every way.
I'll take
but,
a big bitch though.
But she had
We don't discriminate.
she had
no.
she had flowers all over her head, which
That's always a sign.
The
Yeah.
only reason I was cool is because she goes, "It's my birthday." So she sits down.
Right.
She's from Jersey.
But she goes, can I come back and have a drink with you? So she's gonna leave, and I go, yeah, sure. I didn't think
say
she'd
no.
come back. Yeah, we didn't think she'd
You
come
don't
back.
drink, do you?
I do, but I don't.
He
know
drinks
drunk.
wine.
But I didn't think she'd come back. Sure enough, we're talking. She shows back.
She comes back. Anyways, she sits down for an hour, takes over the thing. She's like ripping on Bryan a little. She's freaking just going.
She's crazy. Her
And she
eyes
goes,
are going different directions.
You're the shy type, huh? I went, "No, I'm not shy at all. I'm actually really outgoing, but you've taken over the
Yeah,
dinner.
we don't want to be rude
And I'm
to this
annoyed."
woman.
Yeah, when you're up, I'm gonna go down.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's there the whole time. We're getting ready to leave. We all stand up. Not make this up. She stands up. She goes, "So, should we get out of here? My place is right up there." I went, "What?" She goes, "Should the?"
This is what she says.
She goes, "Should the 4 of us get out of here?" And then my buddy goes, "You mean like a gangbang?" And she goes, "Yeah."
She goes, no, she goes, I would love to dip my toe in these waters. I was like,
said,
we were like,
"See ya."
whoa.
See ya,
All right,
crazy
cuckoo.
ass.
All right, cuckoo bird. Yeah, she was out of
She
her
wanted a gangbang.
stone.
You could have bukkake her.
Well, you're right. Follow us out of the restaurant. I was like, with
Crazy.
cigarettes in her hand. We were like, we got to get out of here. And
Crazy,
I mean, we
man.
did gangbang. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Hey, a little spit roast.
I risked my marriage, and it was a lot of fun.
spit roast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't wing each other.
Yeah, we
that's the trick.
didn't want to be rude. It was her birthday.
I mean,
No.
yeah.
I was so mad at you
Yeah,
for.
it was my fault.
I was so mad.
I didn't think
Because it
she'd
could've
come
been
back.
over.
I didn't think she'd come back. Sure enough, I'm here alone. I was like, who's buying me a drink? I was like, this is not going to work out well.
She goes, "I know your guys' net worth." I'm like, "Oh my God.
Yep.
Could you be
gonna fucking
worse?
find out your net
Could
worth.
you be
By
worse?"
the way, it says I'm worth. Oh, this is another story. Brennan and I apparently are at Scopa, and these two gold diggers looked up my net worth, and it says I'm worth 200 grand. I'm
nice.
worth a little more than that, but it says
Whatever,
I'm really
bro.
poor.
The thing doesn't lie.
Well, okay, I guess I bought my house for nothing. But anyway,
Your parents are rich. What were you saying though?
Your parents are rich, aren't they?
yeah, but they
Where'd
didn't
you
buy my
grow
house. All over the world. I told you,
I know. Where were you born?
Philippines.
That's what I thought when I looked at you.
That's what I heard. so they go, forget it. That guy's broke, and they just they were done with us. So yeah, I'm worth.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm worth
Your
200
net
grand.
worth. You're doing good, kid.
I'm not bad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
I'll
not.
buy that house if you want.
Yeah.
But it's
I
no
don't
big
think the
deal.
net worth thing is very reliable, but
Yeah,
all right.
Brian's feelings are hurt because they got it spot on.
I
But the
like it.
thing
I like
is,
it.
you're
I
all
like
right.
that they
Yeah,
say I'm
you're
poor.
good, man.
I like. What does it say? I'm worth. I want to see. I've not looked. I was just told
It's
that
at
it
$3
said.
million for Brendan.
For me? Oh,
How do you?
For you? Want
Yeah.
to see?
Who comes up with these?
I don't know.
What's it say for you, Russell Peters?
Yeah.
You're Scrooge McDuck of comedy.
Let's see. Russell Peters' net worth. $40 million. It says.
Well, that's pretty spot on.
It's not, but I'm not gonna fucking stop people from believing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish it was 40 million.
That's what happened.
You know, the thing is that even when they put like, even if I make 25 million in a year,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I have 25
I
million.
know.
No taxes,
all.
manager,
There's no fucking
your
way I have
brother
25.
stealing half.
Yeah.
I mean,
It means you keep. If you make 25 in a year for you, what do you actually see? What goes in the bank for you? Be honest.
It's under 10.
That's right.
It's way under 10.
hold up, under 10 because see taxes. So your
Taxes,
commission.
monthlies, commissions, fucking running the business. It's just you're not.
Yeah.
You know, you got money. I mean, it's more money than I ever fucking would have imagined I would ever see
Yeah.
in my life. So
Yeah. But 25 million means
you can't
means
sit,
8.
You can't sit there in life and focus on what you don't have. You have to focus on what you do have.
Yes.
If you're gonna sit there and like, well, the government took all that. Well, you know what? You're focusing on the wrong side of the fucking.
I agree.
Yes.
Look at what you do have, fuckface.
Well, that's what my dad says. When I had to pay taxes, I was pissed. My dad goes,
Well, you think it's your dad.
well, yeah, right? yeah.
Wait a minute. What? Brendan.
Yeah. No,
Russell's
my pops
your
just
dad.
goes. My dad goes, "You're in a good spot." He goes, "Most, if you're paying that much, it means you're making this much." That's one way to look at it.
Let's be honest. You can't understand him because your dad looks at you and goes, "Brendan, oh, don't talk."
Wait, my dad's Asian now?
Yeah, he is now because you don't know who the fuck he is.
Well, that's a really good fake Chinese.
Yeah.
That's a very good fake Chinese.
You have to get the pacing right.
Cha Tong, but then
Cha.
that's a really good Chinese. And careful, you're turning Keely on because she's
only dates Asians.
Only
I'm
into
listening.
Asian
You
men.
know,
She's like Jake Shields.
India is part of Asia. I'm just saying.
Hello.
I'm just saying.
Hello.
As your eyes
what's your
get,
background? 'Cause
As
you're
your eyes
brownish.
get
Hello to
slittier.
fireworks.
Keely, let's talk. What's your background?
Keely, get on the mic.
I'm Mexican and Norwegian.
How the fuck did that happen?
I like it.
I
The
don't know.
So
equator.
somebody
The equator
working
meets
in
the
warehouse
north.
making furniture.
My
went to the
parents
front.
are high school sweethearts.
Really?
Wow.
High school.
The super white and the
But not
dark.
real Norwegian.
No.
Yeah, like American Norwegian. So
Yeah,
not.
for
You
sure.
have
He's
a
just a big
Norwegian.
white boy. Your dad's
So-
a big
so-
white boy.
Yeah, but he's
So
speaks
Mexican
fluent
and white.
Spanish, which is
Yeah, Mexican and
interesting.
white. Yeah, you don't try to make it sound exotic. Norwegian is not exotic.
No,
I've been
your
there.
dad's American.
I was just
your dad's
in
a white
Norway in
boy.
April.
You are?
Not exotic.
I'm
exotic.
What's
in
your
Norway.
favorite? What's your favorite country?
Yeah. Fuck was I on? I love going to India. In all fairness, I love going. I
You
love
have
being in.
to say
I
that.
love. No, I don't.
You have
Where in
to
India?
I love.
We
being
need to
in
go to
Bombay.
India.
I love going to Bombay.
Really?
I fucking love it.
Why?
It's just alive.
Really?
It's alive.
Is it dangerous for a white
no,
boy like
it's
me?
not. Yeah, yeah. You have to worry.
Do I?
You're the guy who's going to have to
You
worry.
could beat up the whole country, Brendan.
Dude, people
Yeah.
say this, but who do
It's
you
not
think they're going to
dangerous at
kidnap,
all.
bro?
Yeah, they're
They
definitely
don't
not going to
kidnap
kidnap.
people in
100%
India.
I'm gonna get
Yeah,
kidnapped.
yeah.
in
You're
India,
gonna
they
have a
don't
guy
kid-
smaller than me grab your wrist, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, he's got me."
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
this is gonna stop you. That's
Yeah.
gonna stop you.
Yeah.
Bro, when there's when there's 20 of them, I'm in
Yeah,
trouble.
it's
Hey,
like-
they
it's
don't
like- it's
fall
like
on you
this.
like rabid dogs. They're
Yeah.
you're not going to
And
get
they're Indians.
kidnapped.
You know how passive we are.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I need
Yeah.
to go there.
Yeah.
I'm headed to Costa Rica tomorrow night.
Well, enjoy your
Me too.
AIDS.
Enjoy your AIDS. Hey, man.
Kidding.
Hey, bro.
Enjoy your
Hey,
AIDS.
man. Have you been there?
No.
He's not going to share
You've never been to
needles.
Costa Rica?
No, my ex-wife goes there a lot. That's why I never want to go there now.
Well, maybe I'll run into her.
I can just give her a number. You can call her and take her with you.
I'm going to have to see pictures.
Where's your favorite vacation spot?
Vacation. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Come on.
I know.
right.
Vacation doesn't exist.
Vacation's a
That's
bore.
what I'm
Your
saying.
life's a vacation.
Yeah, when you're on.
Now, hey, don't jump on our fucking
man, let me-
work ethic here.
Hey, guys.
Callen's on vacation all the time.
I was just in Napa Valley.
And how bad do we hate vacations?
I can't
I
stand
tell
it.
you,
I
this.
just
I
did a
know.
Every
gig in
time we
Napa
go, I'm
Valley.
like, bro, that's why Costa Rica, I have to have you come so we can work.
I know.
Otherwise, I'm going to go back.
Oh, you're going to go batshit. I hope I can make it.
You know, I've never been to
will kill you.
Brazil because I'm afraid I'll never come home.
Why? Because you get
Brazil.
murdered?
No, I would
I
just
know it's a
fall-
third
I-
world country and it's tough.
You're going to be mad if I can't make Costa Rica.
You're going to
talk
Costa
you for
Rica?
a week.
Come on, bro. Don't be that way.
Oh, why? Because I have to
I-
fly through the red eye at
I
night
know, but
by
bro, if I have to
myself.
work, I have to work.
Oh, yeah, that's the way the entertainment business works.
It is on the Goldbergs.
Yeah, the next day
You're on
they're
the
gonna tell you.
Goldbergs?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
I didn't know either.
I just did the first 4 episodes, and I may have to shoot on Thursday if they don't get the location. You'll understand.
that's a lie.
Don't be a baby. Are you going to be sulky if I can't go?
I would be so mad at you.
Listen.
Oh, why? Because I
What
can't.
am I supposed to
I bought
do?
a flight
I-
because you
Yeah,
gave
but
me
you
the
guys,
flight.
but it's faster. It's first class.
I don't
and
give
it's
a fuck.
overnight.
I
It's
could have met with all my
nonstop.
boys.
Nah, boring all day.
I could have met with all my boys.
Oh, on a plane. We're
Wait,
having
wait. So
fun.
wait, just you and him going?
No. It's
kind
my
of
brother's
weird date is
bachelor
this?
party. It's my brother's bachelor party.
Okay.
He wants
But
me-
I already had a flight scheduled, right? Callen goes, nah, I'm coming. Let's take this flight, this first class flight. I'm like, cool. So I buy this other flight.
What am I gonna
Red
do?
eye at night.
What am I going to do? If they need me, I have to be there.
Russell, maybe you should take a spot. I feel like we'd have more fun.
I got gigs, otherwise I'd go.
All right.
Russell will fly privately.
I know me.
He'll buy
Go
Costa
private.
Rica.
You'll buy an island.
I just by the coast on Rica. That sucked.
Let's go to
That joke.
let's go to some current events with Evan the Beard.
Oh, current events. I forgot.
Me too.
Oh, it's 5:30.
Yeah, we had a couple of these. Nick Diaz is one of them, but we're going to go to the next two. Let's talk some NFL. Real busy week over the weekend in the NFL. Your boy Jared Hayne had a couple interesting plays in the mix.
Yeah, did you hear about this? So check this out. This guy, do you follow football?
No, not even a little bit.
Okay. Well,
There's my ex-wife if you want her. It's all yours, buddy.
we'll talk
Let me
afterwards.
see. Let me see.
Well, is there? Can you wait? Did you have a picture without the kid? Because I feel
She's
bad.
a dime
Don't
piece.
look at the kid.
She's a dime piece.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you-
but
your
for sure
daughter's-
don't show me a sexy picture of a woman when there's a baby on her shoulder.
Right? Is there any? Did you have anything better?
That's
But
actually cute.
Jared Hayne, he's a guy who he put on football pads 5 weeks ago, and now he was starting in the NFL.
What? What do you mean put on football? Oh, the
This is
guy
the New
who's the
Zealand
rugby.
guy.
Oh,
Rugby player.
How did he do?
Not good. His first punt return, he fumbled. and that was a bummer.
Yeah,
but he
he's got
played good
speed.
after that. But yeah,
He
has
did. He
speed for
did play
days.
well.
But no, people need to realize how amazing this is.
Yeah.
His first time ever putting on football pads was 5 weeks ago for the San Francisco 49ers.
That's actually incredible because it's
no,
the first time
What's
it's been
incredible is he made the team. He made the roster.
Is that the first time
And-
it's ever been done?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's playing.
Wow.
He's actually playing.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
How can you not root for that
Yeah,
guy?
you got it. You got it. Jared Hayne, a badass and a beast.
I love it. What else you got, Ev?
Your boy Peyton looked like shit.
Broncos look like shit. Mark my words, if there's one pick I can give you, if you're a betting man, if you're using DraftKings.com, promo code FIGHTER, and you're betting on football, bet the house on the Chiefs beating the shit out of the Broncos Thursday night in Kansas City.
Really?
Broncos, and I'm a Broncos fan. I grew up Denver, right? Broncos look like pure shit. The Chiefs are very good.
Okay.
Chiefs, my number one pick this weekend.
I'll put some of Russell's money on that fight.
Absolutely.
I will put $40 million on the Chiefs.
What else? Did you see Adrian Peterson play last night?
He played like shit, right?
Not that great.
Yeah.
He looked like a guy who hadn't played in a while.
That's the current event. He looked like shit.
He'll get himself.
Football is the current event.
That's like me trying to roll.
No,
Haven't done it in 15 years.
Yeah, I'm not good at
you
rolling.
don't like jiu-jitsu?
I love jiu-jitsu, but if you haven't done it in 15 years,
You're
You're
not
a little
you-
rusty.
and you became 45 years old, your limbs aren't going to do what you want them to do.
Do you have any injuries or no?
No.
No, 45 is an injury.
I did get extended once. I didn't know about tapping the first time I was getting armbarred.
Oh, and you tried to.
I did not.
Hulk
I just
out of it?
screamed. I just screamed. I was
Yeah.
screaming, and I thought that was.
That's a tap out. A scream
Yeah.
is a tap. Do you
Yeah.
know that in the
Yeah.
UFC? If you scream, it's a tap.
I didn't know that.
Submission,
Is
yeah.
that true?
Oh yeah. If you scream out, they'll stop the fight.
Whoa.
Little fact for everybody here.
I didn't know
Little
that.
fun fact, guy.
Little fun fact for you: don't scream if you're knocked down because they're gonna stop the fight.
Next current event.
All right, this is a weird one. A locally famous artist in Portland is getting a lot of press now because she made a portrait of Donald Trump's face, but she made it out of her own period blood.
Well,
nothing
that
wrong
makes
with
me
that.
sick.
Pretty interesting.
I
I'd
mean,
like
it
to
is a bit
see-
of a
now I want to
Grossest
see
thing
it.
I've ever heard.
I now want to see it.
Well,
You have a picture of
I
it?
want to
Of
see if
course.
it's good.
What makes me feel sick?
Not me.
No, I'd like to see this.
You'd like to see
it's
this?
really
Would you,
interesting.
you know, Russell, will you buy this for us
Period
for
blood
our
doesn't
studio?
gross me
I
out.
would actually. I would consider this.
Oh
That's not bad.
no, it's actually a good painting.
It's actually, I would buy
Did
the
he get
shit out of
punched in
that
the
thing.
eye or?
I would
Yeah,
buy that in
I
a
don't know about
heartbeat.
You know, it's not the best painting I've ever seen.
I think it's
though.
really good, actually.
I disagree.
And it's made of blood.
I guess to say that picture stinks would be redundant, right?
Russell, damn it. That's a good picture, actually. I'd buy that for a lot of money.
I would not.
well.
If they gave it to me, I would set it on fire. I would say.
And if it was on fire and I saw it on the ground, I would tampon it.
And you wonder why he sells out to arenas. That kid comes up with it on the spot.
And I'll see you on tour.
Comedy gold.
Is that it, Ev?
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go.
Does he?
Diaz took over the world for the last 24 hours.
Yep.
Poor Diaz, man. I wish there's something we could do.
Love him.
Oh, there's a
GoFundMe.
there's-
I don't trust
no, it's
that
not a
shit.
GoFundMe. It's not a
Everyone tells
GoFundMe.
me, Schaub, retweet this, donate to this. I don't trust you guys.
It's not a GoFundMe.
What do you got?
It's a White House. It's like a government site where you can like start petitions, and if you get to a certain amount of signatures, Obama like has to look at it basically. At least make
Obama's
a
gonna be like,
judgment
huh?
on it.
I don't give a fuck.
Very likely, but
like it,
I mean,
though.
you have to get 100,000 signatures.
Get the
So
president involved. I'll
100,000's
sign that
easy.
fucking
They're
thing.
at
100,000's easy.
They're at 16,000 right now. Got to get to 100,000 by October 14th.
Let's go,
That's-
guys.
that's enough
Everybody
time.
sign.
And that will lift
Yeah.
that is a petition to
Russell
lift
Peters
the ban.
is going to do a charity concert for
Nick Diaz.
Nick Diaz and Bryan Callen.
I mean, they could get to 100,000, but again, that doesn't do shit. Obama's gonna look at him like, okay,
You don't
what?
know.
Dana White, who? Nick Diaz, who?
Well, you don't know.
The shirts Chael came out with last night.
Yeah, he texts me. He goes, "Can you tweet this out?" No, what's he? I meant because Chael's my boy. I meant to ask him. Wait. What's
What did
this
he say
money-
about Fedor?
what's
He's
this
just
money
a fat
go to?
old man now.
That's what Chael said.
Yeah, he's a
He looks
chubby old
yoked
bald
right
man.
now.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah, he's
yoked. I
fucking
feel
jacked.
sorry for anyone who has to fight him.
Yeah, who is he fighting? And he's fighting in Bellator, right?
Yeah.
No, is he? Is
thought
that
it was-
signed? I don't know. I know he
he's
does
in-
autograph signings for him, but he hasn't signed with anyone yet. Last I heard, I thought he was signing with UFC. No.
I don't think UFC would sign him.
Oh, I disagree.
I mean, it would
You
be
think
great
they would
for
let
him.
him go to Bellator?
Well, you never know. I mean, they'll be like, well, what's the point on this? You know, if you look at it, Bellator has a lot of the elite guys that used to be at UFC that are on their way down, but they're still big names. And that's the mistake they're making. It's like, well, look, These guys are still big names.
Right.
For sure.
If you're not if you're, what name do you want to see? Do you want to see Demetrius Johnson? He's a great fighter.
Or do you want to see Kimbo Slice?
Yeah, you'd rather see
Kimbo
Slice.
Slice.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it sucks,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
the way it is. You want to see a knockout, or you want to see Demetrius Johnson just tear a guy to pieces?
Yeah.
I want to see Kimbo Slice with his beard knock old Ken Shamrock out.
Yeah.
That's what the average fan is saying.
that fight looked thrown too.
Yeah, it was super suspect.
Yeah.
This weekend's a huge Bellator. They're doing the Phil
Tito's
Davis
fighting, right?
205. Phil Davis is fighting, and
Phil
Tito's
Davis is
fighting.
there now?
Phil Davis signed with him.
Wow.
Phil Davis, he's one of the guys who's in his prime who left the UFC. Didn't get cut, left the UFC to go to Bellator. And I asked him, I go, dude, you're crazy. And he goes, I'm so nervous about it. I said, all it takes is one guy, man. Good for you. Because he's a guy who walked away from the UFC because of the endorsements with Bellator.
But a
What's
lot of
the
guys
Reebok?
can't walk because they're tied up in contracts, right?
Yeah, it's just like anything.
Yeah.
It's like in the NFL. I
Phil
mean,
Davis looks like, remember Junior Jones, the fighter?
No.
Junior Jones, boxer?
Yeah, Junior Poison Jones. I always look at Junior Jones and Phil Davis like it's the same guy.
Phil Davis says, one of the best bodies in MMA.
Yeah, he's got them fucking broad
Lats.
shoulders and skinny
Lats.
body.
Yeah.
And
Great guy, man.
he's a hard
tight
guy.
rump.
He'd be a hard guy to choke out because he's so thin, you know?
Yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah.
But so Bellator, listen to this. Bellator is doing an octagon on one side of the arena and a kickboxing cage or ring on the other. So they're having two shows. So you're gonna watch MMA and you're gonna watch Glory Kickboxing.
And Russell's
Same
going to
night.
be doing stand up in the other
middle.
corner, in the
Yeah,
middle.
I'll be a
in the
referee.
middle.
Referee.
And now,
How crazy is that, though?
Yeah.
I'm the
That's
new
great.
Herb Dean.
That's dope. To me, it's pretty dope. It's a
Fan-
bit of a gimmick, but
it's exciting.
yeah. Fan questions, Kay. What do you got?
Here we go. Okay, do you want to do the fan questions?
Good.
Do you want to do them, B?
Doesn't
Don't
matter.
care.
All right,
Whoever
cool.
wants to read them.
Give me-
Yes, yes, rare.
Let's go.
You're going to get them from me anyway. This is from Irish Buffet. This is for you, Russell.
Okay.
You seem to play to a very international audience. What are your favorite and least favorite countries to perform in?
Who do you hate going to? If they're like, if your manager, if your brother calls you, goes, listen, bro, we got a gig in Iraq.
No, that doesn't bother me.
No.
You know, okay, here's the thing. It's kind of an oxymoron. I love going to Beirut, Lebanon.
But
Dude,
It's
I want to go
fucking
there so badly.
amazing.
I want to go there so badly.
It's
I live there.
amazing for it's amazing for hanging out and partying and having a great time. And when I perform there, I sell 5,000 seats.
God.
But
And you
the
see, and you perform in
problem
English.
is, when you're there, is that Lebanon is all Lebanese. It's all, and so there's no, in other parts of the Middle East, there's a lot of Indians and Filipinos, and there's a lot of melting pot happening, people coming in and working. But Lebanon, Beirut itself is very Lebanese. So when I'm performing, I need a more mixed audience in front of me. So it's really hard for me to get off on my points of reference, and and I do a lot of stuff.
so that's your least favorite.
It's more work than I want it to be.
There's great food and ridiculous nightlife, right? I mean, and
like
beautiful
honestly,
women.
and if you're gonna get laid in the Middle East without it being a prostitute, it's probably gonna be in Beirut.
Really?
Yeah.
And where's your favorite to go?
Very modern.
Number one.
I don't know. I pretty much like everywhere. I really don't.
When
I'm
you
not
have
trying to be
an
political,
arena full of people shouting your name and loving you,
I mean, Hong
you're gonna
Kong's
like
great.
anywhere.
Singapore is great. Malaysia's
New York's great.
New York's my favorite place in the world.
All right, so New York.
Toronto's great. Calgary, Vancouver. I don't
Next
care.
question, Ev. Yeah, they're all good. When you're selling out, it's all
Yeah,
the
it's
same.
all-
to
it's
you.
all
You
good.
could be anywhere as long as it's sold out.
And now Brian Callen, the white Russell Peters. Keep going.
You'll be at Yuck Yucks in Calgary.
That's
now.
right.
He'll be
I'll be at the San
for
Jose
$200.
San Jose Improv, everybody. September 25th, 26th, 27th.
Which
Sorry,
one?
keep going. San Jose Improv.
It's a good gig.
Driving up there.
Callen, where are we doing our live show at? Tell them.
We got Brea October 1st already sold
That's
out.
sold out.
Then we got-
Somebody
then
told
we
me
got
that Brendan's
Tempe.
gonna be doing stand up.
Oh yeah, that's a secret. We'll see what
Well,
happens.
it's not really. Somebody fucking
No.
Instagram.
No,
it.
it's gonna
Really?
be exciting.
Yeah.
To you?
Yeah, they were like, "What are you gonna tell Brendan for his upcoming stand-up?"
What are you gonna
I
tell him?
got
We'll
5
see what
minutes,
happens.
my man. I got 5
fuck it up.
minutes.
That's all.
Don't fuck it up.
I've seen a whole lot of fighters wanting to get into stand-up.
Yeah,
It's a very similar game.
very similar.
It makes sense,
It's
man.
a very,
Fighting,
very
stand
natural
up,
jump.
funny,
I've had
killers.
a lot of guys hit me up like, "Hey man, can I talk to you about this?"
No way, never.
I have to.
Well, I got one guy who fought you who wants to get into it.
Oh, I know who it is.
Who?
Mitrione.
No.
No?
No.
One guy that fought me, for sure, as fuck, not Travis Brown. He's about as funny as this microphone.
No.
One guy, Crow Cop. You'd be so
Crow Cop
hilarious.
can't speak
so
English.
hilarious.
I want to tell joke. You laugh. I kick you. You don't laugh.
It can't be Orlovsky.
No.
Roy Nelson.
Roy Nelson wants to do stand-up.
Roy wants to do stand-up, and he's done it a couple
That's
of times
cool.
now.
I'd laugh, just because I'm a fan. And I'm afraid not to. All right. That's
All right,
good.
next
do you got?
question. Before a performance, how do you mentally prepare?
Oh, I don't mentally prepare.
You just go up there?
Just go up.
When you've been doing stand-up that long,
26 years, you're already there.
You just show up.
It's like if I threw a punch at Brendan right now, he'd duck automatically,
You'd be surprised.
or he wants to get hit. But I think it's just more of a, he's not going to hurt me. So.
Well, I guess the question should be is how do you prepare? Like, so before you're selling out Madison Square Garden, you have new material. Like, how are you coming up with this? Like, what's your
stay on
protocol?
the road. You just stay on the road. You keep
Sharpening
working.
your sword.
You have to stay. You can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know, the minute you stop doing it, it becomes a lot harder, and you start to get intimidated because you know how many people are out there in the clubs working on it every night. Yeah. And there could be a guy who's nowhere near or is ever going to be anywhere near your career, but at that night he'll take you out because he's fucking in there every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's practicing the craft
Yep.
more. Yeah, you're going to be rusty.
Yeah, so you can't get complacent.
Boom. What else you got, Ev?
All right, next one. How does it feel going from living in a small place like Brampton and turning into a mega stand-up comedian living the American dream? And what do you miss most about not being famous?
Like, do you walk down the street and people harass you? Do you go to restaurants?
I don't look at it as harassment. People will stop me like, hey, can I get a picture? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. They'll be like, this got to be annoying. And I go, you know what would be annoying? When nobody wants my
It's a
picture.
good problem to have. I agree.
I'm right with you.
I love people. I love talking to people.
What's the worst part of fame?
You know, the worst part is your friends change more than you change.
Your friends change around you, yes.
Yeah, they're like, hey, man. And I'm like, hey, you're the one believing the hype. You still know me. I'm the same fucking guy. Don't get weird with me.
Yes.
I'm the same guy.
And then they ask you for sums of money that they would never have asked you ever in your life for.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's just 10 grand. Just 10 grand.
10 grand?
It's a lot of money.
Just
$100
I gotta make 30 grand to pay you 10 grand, you asshole.
Yeah, they don't understand that. And they also don't understand how many people are asking you for money
Yeah.
all the time.
They say family is the
Literally.
number one problem.
Fame?
Family.
No, family.
When you have money, family's the number one problem. So when you go to the NFL when you go to like NFL rookie camp, they do a symposium and they have people up there like financial people telling you the number one problem when you have money is family usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not mine so much, but my friends, because my family wasn't that close. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do need to borrow money. I'm gonna talk to you about that, but I will
That's
get it back
fine.
to you by the end of
I
the
mean,
week.
that's fine.
I need 10 million. What do you got, Ev?
We got one more. And it's a little bit of a long one, so bear with me.
Fat a nickel.
All right. Hey, guys. It's safe to say that you and Bryan are a couple cutie pies who have fooled around quite a bit before settling down with regards to relationships. So as a 20-year-old guy who's been dating a girl for 2 years in college, I wanted to hear some perspective on what you might say about young guys who get roped in too early. I think my relationship's pretty mature. My girlfriend's amazing, blah, blah, blah. But it's tough to deal with having to deal with jealousy and being surrounded by beautiful young girls at school. What would you have done if you had been a little more mature, hypothetically, and met a good girl at a
I'm
young
the
age?
wrong guy to talk to because I am a dirtbag. So I mean,
but what
when
would
I
you
was-
say?
No, but here's
I would
Help
say
the guy out.
No.
Here's the problem with this. He's 20.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to the psycho relationship from 20 to 23.
Agree.
That's when you're both crazy.
Yeah.
You're jealous because your first time you're getting pussy on a regular basis, and you're probably trying to figure out how to put it down the right way.
Yeah.
And now you figured out this one girl, and now you think because she's turned on by you that she's going to get turned on by everybody, and then she's going to start fucking everybody, and your ego's out of whack, and
Yes.
she's thinking the same thing with you, so you have this tumultuous fucking horrible relationship.
It's not going to
And
work out.
It's not going to work out.
You're
And
20.
You're 20. And I mean, even if you're an older guy dating a girl that age, you end up in the same situation because she's there and you've already passed it, but she drags you back into it or
Yeah,
vice versa.
this isn't the movies. At 20 and you're in college, just
It's
have
just enjoy
fun.
it.
There are people
It's
that,
not the
that meet their
Notebook.
high school sweetheart and marry and
It's
settle
called
down.
the exception.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's
The
not
people
gonna
that
happen.
marry their high school sweetheart went to school in the 50s.
And they, yes.
You know, so
Yes,
I guess
it's
just be
true.
honest with yourself about how you really feel and try to make it work if you like her. I will say this, that if you really like the girl, the grass is always greener, but it is one big illusion. It is one big illusion.
illusion of fun.
it is fun out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. You also waste a lot of time. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have put up the numbers I did.
No, I would never
You're
change the
so
fucking
lame.
thing.
Me neither. I wouldn't put anything.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm a fucking scumbag.
What do you mean, Brian? Oh, you would have had one girl?
Yeah,
Hey, look at me.
Hey.
Don't lie to our
Hey,
listeners.
just because you can sit with your legs like that doesn't mean you're really gay.
I know.
Yeah.
You know why I sit like this? Ever since I saw
Feels
Robert
nice.
De Niro do it in Cape Fear, he sat like this when he's playing the bad guy. I like sitting like this because it's feminine, but I feel dangerous
Yeah.
when I
Well,
cross
I
my
can't do it
legs.
because I have huge balls.
Jeez,
Yeah,
do you ever?
This is all balls right
Figuratively
sense.
and
it makes sense.
thing. It's fucking just balls.
that's
That's
it. That's
legit.
it. He's got a thumb dick, but huge balls.
Is that it, Ev?
Yeah, man, that's a wrap.
Russell Peters,
Brian Callen,
you're
Brendan Schaub.
a prince. You're a gentleman, a prince, and a scholar.
Appreciate you doing it, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
thanks for having me.
You're
Yeah.
the best.
And I've been watching you for a long time, kid.
Appreciate it, man. You actually, when you first met me, you punched me.
I did. I said, "You still training?" Pop.
You did.
And he shit himself. So it was
I
kind of
got
interesting.
scared.
He's
Some,
sharp.
some
It was-
guy
and
at
it was
Whole
just a left.
some guy at Whole Foods asked me to take a picture. I go, sure, man. And he goes, bro, you got to put your fist up. I go, no, I'm not going to put my fist up, man. So we started arguing back and forth. Anyways, appreciate you coming on, man. We know
the
you're
best.
big and famous, selling out arenas.
You know,
everywhere.
I wish more people knew I was big and famous. You know, the powers
In the
that
business,
be. You know
yeah.
what's funny is I'll go to like a meeting at Fox, and when I go to check in, security's like, "Oh shit," and then the guy valet, "Oh shit." Then I go inside and they're like, "Yeah, so tell us about yourself." And I'm like, "The fucking guys downstairs
Come
know
on,
me. Why
man.
don't you get your head out of your
It's
ass?"
amazing, man. It's amazing.
It's-
Well, this podcast is going to change everything.
I
for
think
you.
the world's gonna be different now.
That's why we brought
I think
you
it's
on.
gonna be our sitcom.
natural.
That's why we brought you on.
Callen, Schaub, and Peters.
We're doing a show for Fox.
CSP.
We need you. We'll have you on.
Yeah, we could use you as a cameo. Where can they find you?
Or a regular.
When's your next gig?
I'm in Baltimore this weekend and New Jersey Saturday and Sunday.
Probably already sold out.
Who cares? Come on, buy tickets just in
There you
case.
go.
Boom,
Buy some
Callen, what do
tickets.
you got?
I'm in San Jose the 20th, 26th, 27th.
The
Improv.
first live Fire in the Kids show is sold out October 1st, but November 12th in Tempe, Arizona. Still tickets available. TempeImprov.com. One night, one show only, so you know they're going to go fast. And then Callen's there the following days. There you have it. Everything you need is at TFATK.com. This is the Fire in the Kid. We're out.